Hello guys, welcome to Live Ed where education comes alive. This is your trusted instructor Mustafa, and this is part one of a 6-part series we are going to do on the English tenses. Now, I understand that learning grammar, especially the tenses, can at times be scary, but with the right tools and the right instructors, it doesn't have to be. As a matter of fact, with Live Ed, learning is fun, fast, and absolutely fabulous like nowhere else. No more underqualified, boring teachers giving you wrong information. No more going through confusing grammar books alone. Just the best, liveliest education with the best teachers anywhere, anytime. We at Live Ed do not refer to ourselves as a school, a language school. We believe that's too conventional, too traditional, too overdone. Instead, we prefer to refer to ourselves as a movement whose vision it is to revolutionize and modernize and entirely change the way you learn. Before we get started with the video's topic, guys, which is the present continuous, let's first get a couple of things out of the way. Number one, what should you expect from this video? What benefit is in it for you? Well, I can tell you that by the end of this video, you are going to have a complete and practical understanding of the present continuous tense, which you can later use in your everyday application of the English language, your everyday use of the English language. Number two, what is a tense? Since this series is concerned with tenses, it would be a good idea for us to get a definition first. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the dictionary definition of the word, and then I'm going to explain to you what exactly this definition means. So let's take a look first at the dictionary definition. This is the Google dictionary, which is the handiest, most convenient, and most easily accessible dictionary. And as you can see here, guys, the dictionary has more than one definition for the word. Indeed, the word does have more than one meaning, but we're not concerned with these other meanings today. We don't want to see tense as an adjective or a verb. We want to see it as a grammar noun, which is this definition right here. A tense is a set of forms taken by a verb to indicate the time, and sometimes also the continuance or completeness of the action in relation to the time of the utterance or the time of speaking. This last bit here is very important, guys. Please pay attention. In relation to the time of speaking. Now, what this means is if you and I, for example, are having a conversation, the things that I did yesterday, the actions that I took yesterday, the activities that I did yesterday, I will tell you about in one tense. The things that I'm doing right now, I will tell you about in another tense. And the things that I want or plan to do in the future, I will tell you in a third and different tense. So guys, the time of speaking. This is the focal point, the reference point of tenses use. The time of speaking, the time whenever we're talking to somebody else. Whatever happens before that time is expressed or referred to using a certain tense or certain tenses. Whatever happens during or whatever is happening during the time of speaking is referred to using a certain tense, and whatever is supposed to happen after that time of speaking is referred to and expressed using a certain tense. Now, in this 6-part series, I'm going to cover all the tenses except the future. That will be covered by my wonderful colleague Anna, whose videos I strongly encourage you to watch. Now on with the first of the 6 topics in this series, the present continuous. The present continuous is used in 4 different situations. It's for 4 different purposes. The 4th purpose I'm not going to talk about in this video. This is about the future, and once again, that will be covered by my colleague Anna in her videos. The other 3 purposes for which we use the present continuous, guys, are as follows. Number 1, we use the present continuous to talk about things that are happening right now at the moment of speaking. Number 2, we use the present continuous to talk about things that are happening these days, not necessarily exactly now, but these days. And the 3rd purpose for which we use the present continuous is to talk about changes in the world, changes in conditions and states. Now, in the next few segments of this video, I'm going to explain exactly what these purposes are all about, and I'm going to give you plenty of detailed information, so stay tuned. So, the first situation, the first purpose for which we use the present continuous is to talk about activities, actions that are happening right now, right this minute. Сейчас. I am holding a piece of paper. I am looking into the camera. I am recording a video. Now let's look at the structure of a typical present continuous or present progressive sentence. We have I, which is in this case the subject, or what I like to call the star of the sentence, not just because it's I, but every subject is the star of the sentence, the main doer of the action. It can be he, it can be she, it can be they, it can be we, it can be Sasha, it can be Sophia, it can be my cat, it can be Then, in the case of present continuous sentences, guys, we have a little thing we call a verb to be. Now, what that verb to be is that it doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't do any actual verb. It's not an action verb. It's not like running or driving or sleeping, even, for that matter. It's just a helping verb or an auxiliary verb that helps the sentence's actual verb to do its job. Now, the present continuous tense absolutely needs this verb to be, which is am, is, and are. I am, he, she, person, singular, is, plural, we, they, or you, are. This is what we call the verb to be, and it's an absolute must, like I said, in present continuous constructions. Then we have the actual verb, which in this case is recording. I am recording a video. This is the actual verb, and it is in the present participle or ing form. She is writing an important email. My son is having dinner right now. So we have the verb to be and the verb in the present participle or the ing form. I am not feeling well right now. I am not feeling good right now. This is an example of a negative present continuous sentence. We have the subject, the verb to be, not, and then the verb in the ing form. I am not, she is not feeling well right now, right this minute. That's it for this section, guys. In the upcoming section, we are going to talk about using the present continuous to talk about things that are happening now, but not necessarily at the moment of speaking, things that are happening currently. Stay tuned.
Your phone is ringing.
Потише, пожалуйста. Oh, didn't realize the camera was on. That was my wife. Actually, I told her to kindly remain quiet because I'm in the middle of reading a book. This example actually ties in perfectly with our previous section, guys, because I'm describing something that I'm doing right now, something I started doing and haven't finished doing yet. I'm in the middle of reading. The second purpose for which we use the present continuous is to talk about things that are happening now, but not really now. To understand this example, think about this. Let's imagine that I'm talking to a friend of mine over the phone. I want you guys to pay attention, please. Hello?
Hello, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing well, thank you.
What are you doing right now?
I'm actually recording a video.
Which kind of video?
It's an educational video.
Oh, great. And what are you doing these days?
Well, I'm reading an interesting book these days. I'm also working on an educational project these days. Thank you, Sasha. Now, you must have noticed, guys, that we spoke about two things, my friend and I. We spoke about things that I'm doing right now, like now, this moment, and things that I'm doing these days, currently. I'm reading a book. I'm not really reading a book right now, but I'm reading a book these days. I started maybe a couple of days ago, and I'm still in the middle of it. I'm working on a project. I'm not done with it yet. Similarly, if we say, for example, Sonia is learning Italian. Is she doing it right now? Is she doing it at this moment? No, she is in the process of learning Italian. Jim and his wife are building a house. Are they building a house right now? It's dark. They won't see. They might have accidents. No, this means that they are in the process. So we talk about things that are in the process of happening, things that started happening and are still happening these days, maybe started happening 5 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. It doesn't really matter, things that haven't been finished yet. So we also use the present continuous to talk about such situations. And the structure is the same. You have a subject, you have a verb to be, and you have a main verb in the ing. I am reading a book these days. Someone is developing their language these days, and so on. In the next segment, we're going to talk about using the present continuous to talk about changes in the world. Stay tuned. And now we come to the third purpose for which we use the present continuous, and that is, as we said earlier, guys, to talk about changes. The weather is getting cold. See, we were in October, September, now we are in December, so obviously the weather changed. And it's still changing. It's getting colder and colder as we get closer to January and New Year. So we have a process of change here. And for these processes of change, guys, we use the present progressive, the present continuous to describe. The prices of rent are going up. Same structure again. We have subject, we have a verb to be, and a main verb in the ing form. Other verbs that we can use in this sort of structure, as this to talk about change, is develop, grow. Say, for example, my son is growing up. He was a little malinky tiny baby, and now he's becoming bigger and bigger. Become can also be used in this context. Growing up, a tree can grow. My tree is growing. I don't have a tree. I just want to use a tree as an example. Fall, rise, decrease, increase. All of these verbs that signify change can be used in this way, the present continuous way, to talk about change, changes in the world. That's it, guys. That is your complete understanding of the present continuous tense. Please don't forget to check out our website. The address is below the video. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, guys. I surely have had a lot of fun recording this video. Our next video is going to be about the present simple. Thank you, guys, and have a great day.